Why is Turkey so unique? One of the things that make Turkey unique is that it's really situated in two continents. In Istanbul, you can literally spend the day both in Europe and Asia, while on one side of the city, Bosphorus Strait is technically situated in Asia and the other is Europe. Make sure that you are subscribed. Let's travel the world together. So, is this country safe for females? You need to use literally common sense when solo travel in Turkey, as if you'll do this in any other country, including your own. There are some cities, like this one, that will be presented in this video. It is Konya, of course. I love this city very much. And I suggest that you would cover up a little bit more in such cities as Konya if you really don't want to have all those stars at you. But literally this is it. Is it safe for a female to travel alone in Turkey? Is Istanbul safe for solo female travelers? One of the main things that I really love about Turkey, and it is people. They are warm, hospitable. They will help you if you ask literally anything. And if you talk to them in some Turkish, they will be even more happy. And the short answer to the question, is Turkey safe for female travelers? And it is yes. I would say that it is 99.99% that you will be completely safe alone as a female in Turkey. Things can happen everywhere in any country, but from my experience, nothing is happening with you. The only issue could be that if you eat too much the tastiest food, it will be really hard to move by foot around. This is literally it. Or if you go to Turkey, to those parts in that time of the year when it is really hot, you could get a sunburn or just some headache because of hot air. Turkey is considered to be a Middle Eastern country, but Turkish people does not think like that. Some people think that Turkey is a dangerous country to travel for women. And it is completely not true. Turkey is the safest and most convenient country. Some time ago it was too cheap and inexpensive. Today it's just very affordable. Let's talk a little bit about taxis. Is it safe for women to take taxis throughout Turkey? The only issue that is really important to remember is that you should download taxi apps, and this is it. The local taxi app, I will leave the link here in the description under this video. They are showing you kilometers that you are traveling with in a taxi, and the only bad thing could happen is that you could stop in some traffic. This happens especially in such cities as Istanbul. There are lots of streets, especially near the city center, where you can hardly move on the peak times, so I would prefer buses, especially when you're going through or to airports or some bus stations. They may not be too comfortable, but they will be moving at the same speed as a taxi and you will save a lot of money. But as well, taxi is quite cheap in Turkey. Should female travelers in Turkey book a tour, or it's safe to travel on your own? This is completely up to you. If you love companies, book a tour, get a guide. This will be a chance for you to meet new people with whom you'll be having dinners or so. But other than that, you will be completely fine if you really love to spend time with your thoughts on your own. If you are going to such touristic places like Cappadocia, first, I encourage you to watch a video about Cappadocia on my channel, and second, even if you don't love tours, take them, especially in Cappadocia, in some other touristic places, because for me, I don't see myself visiting as much places in one day on my own. Never happening. But when you're guided and you're technically moved from one place to another place, it's really the best idea to see every sightseeing places. And in Turkey, you really need years to see everything. So guided tours may seem awkward, but they are just awesome. A little bit tiring, but just awesome. What are men like in Turkey? When you are traveling solo female, you have questions. First, dress appropriate in Turkey, you'll have 0 questions. Usually Turkish men are well-mannered, and you will not experience any offensive things. You may see a lot of men gathered in tea houses. Usually they drink their tea or coffee, and by tradition, women aren't there usually. I perfectly love tea houses. Usually it's extremely cheap and calm environment. If you don't want to be surrounded only by men, don't go there on busy hours. There are literally hours in a day where you'll be literally the only guest there, so the whole place will be yours. So if you don't want a company or just want to have everything to yourself, use this advice. I would say that most approaches that men could do towards you, it's usually on the markets. And what you have to do is just to smile and be friendly. Personally, I don't feel obliged even to answer the invitations to taste baklava or just to buy spices. It doesn't have to do that. Just usually this is how people, usually men, sell things in market. They are doing that for everyone, not just to women, not just to foreigners. This is just how they live their life, so this is perfectly fine. You can see a lot of men inviting people to restaurants, and this is usually happening in crowded places where there are a lot of tourists and foreigners. When you're going to rural areas or just to non-touristic places or just non-touristic parts of any city, you can find these little places literally even in the city center of Istanbul. You will not have those experiences. And what you really want to understand is traditions. Turkish people are very traditional, and in most restaurants, especially if it is lunchtime, when it is breakfast time, you will see mostly men in non-touristic places. This is perfectly fine. This is how Turkish society is, because usually those men go into little breakfast with their tea. If it's a burek place, this will be really easy to eat on the go. I suggest you eat all of the bureks everywhere. They are just perfect breakfast as for me. And this is okay because for lunchtime usually men also go to have their lunches while the women are just home with their kids having lunch on their own and waiting for their men to have their dinner together. And when it's a hot season and you are on the south part of Turkey, you may see in the evenings, and these could be really late evenings, that people are having their dinners together on their balconies, which seems really cute. Do you have to have a scarf in your bag? My experience from going to a mosque in Adana, and this is the biggest mosque in Turkey, was pretty different than I would expect it. And Adana is not a touristic place at all. It is very popular amongst Turkish people because this is a heart of Turkish cuisine. Every single person knows that Adana has the most tastiest cuisine ever. So this is just a gastro center of Turkey. But when I came to the mosque and it was pretty late night, like 9 p.m., I wasn't expecting to come inside because it was late, but a man was inviting me just like, yeah, go, without words. And when I entered a mosque, he showed me a table and there was a box with scarves. So this was pretty it. I didn't have to have a scarf in my pocket in the most beautiful, amazing and the biggest mosque in Turkey. I was just offered a free scarf, which was really awesome. And if you'll be in Adana, I recommend you going there. It is peaceful, it is monumental and just beautiful. Overall, concluding everything that we've talked in this video, just use a common sense. Nothing else you really need in Turkey. You will have most wonderful time of your life, and the only sad part from your travel to Turkey will be that you really have to fly back from this beautiful country that has a lot to offer. So don't get upset, just book a new tour, book a new adventure to Turkey. Don't forget to subscribe and see you soon on this channel. Bye.